Okay. So, um, so 2 points. So one is the point about the time slots, and then one is the presentation. So regarding the time slots, I think few of you have mentioned a time. I think Nikunja Vilasimati also have had reached out to few of you, and you have said the time you are available. So we are kind of dividing into three slots, right? The first slot is from 11 to 2, right? Then 2 to 5, then 5 to 10. I see. So, and some of them have said 3 to 5, so that's kind of the second slot and so on. So we will share the list and then we'll confirm that. But the first thing I want to go through is the presentation for Janmashtami. So on Janmashtami, like there are so many things happening, right? So people come, they'll take darshan, they'll welcome booth, they'll get some information there, they come take darshan, the swing festival, and then they come to the book table. So when people come to the book table, because there's a lot of crowd, it is, we naturally feel like, okay, let me just directly jump onto the book. So when people come, yes, we want to, make it quick, but always start with a greeting. And anyone you see, like, give a nice smile and say, Happy Janmashtami, thank you for coming. So start with that because, people are going to so many booths, but just that, nice welcoming smile and Happy Janmashtami will catch their attention, because they may see books and they're like, oh, many people always I have all the books, so before they even say that, just have a nice smile, greet them and say Happy Janmashtami, thank you so much for coming. And it could be quick, but start with this phrase with a nice smile, right? Then once we have that initial connection, then we start off. So our focus is on Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So then we can say that this Janmashtami, all around the world, we are focusing on preserving our Vedic wisdom. And our goal is that every home should have a full set of Vedic wisdom. Right. So I will share this script on our group also. So you can also go through a script and you feel confident about like how we are presenting. So, but that is our first phrase that goes out, that we're focusing on preserving our Vedic literature, and also to make the point that this is all around the world. So this Janmashtami everywhere, all around the world. Like I was mentioning that how Sunday we had this call with Vaisheshika Prabhu, and there were like devotees from uh, Italy and then France and then UK and Canada, and like there were people from all around, and they're all focusing on this. So that's to as soon as we say that this is a global project, everyone is doing this, then that's already like very impactful, right? So. So starting off with that, this generation all around the world, we are focusing on preserving, and our goal is every house. There's a quote by Prabhupada where Prabhupada says, "I want every gentleman to have a full set of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita in his house." Right. So that's our goal. Right. Now, when you actually say that, right, full set, then see every person who comes there, they will have different inclinations. Some of them will be like, okay, they are interested. They may be right away that, okay, tell me more. They are eager to hear. Some of them may be just like curious, that, okay, what is this project? Some of them may be just like, okay, just testing, like, okay, is this something for me, or do I want to go to the prasadam stall, or so we'll get people who are coming and they will have like different intentions, like their attention to this bookstore. So we start off with the line that we are working on this project, and then we can start the Bhagavatam presentation, but every time when you're talking to them, be sensitive of what is their mood, because people are also like walking through the book table. So you just have to be sensitive and say like, okay, is this person just in the mood of like rushing to the next booth and not so interested? And the point is like, first is Bhagavatam. If they are willing, they are standing, they are listening, then you continue and you do the Bhagavatam presentation. And I will come back to the Bhagavatam presentation, and each one of us may have like a different way of presenting, but I'll mention some tips that may help everyone to present Bhagavatam. So start with Bhagavatam, depending on the person's interest. we are talking about preserving our Vedic literature. That is a common principle for every any book. Then Bhagavatam, and um, then if they are not so inclined, they are in the mood of just like, trying to just walk the next stall, then you can quickly see that, okay, is there a child in their family? And if a child is there, then you can immediately focus on the the 4 volume Krishna book set. And, so in your hand, you could actually hold one Bhagavatam and just one of those 4 volume Krishna book sets, right? And you have it in your hand. So as soon as they come and then Bhagavatam not, okay, then immediately you can show, okay, this is a nice Janmastami gift for your kid. It's wonderful. It has 90 stories of Krishna, beautiful painting. And you can, while you're showing it, you can also like show it to the kid, that it will grab the kid's attention. So that if they have kid, then we move on to that. Or if they are like on the border and they're like, okay, we are not sure what is their mood, we also have this 5 book set, and we want to really focus on this 5 book set. um let me see if I have an image. Okay, I'll see if I have an image. It's like a ribbon 5 book set, and the books are, it starts off with the 4 questions book, then it has the hiding in unnatural happiness, it has Krishna book, then it has um, um, Hidden Glories of India. Yeah, Hidden Glories of India. And the last is Journey of Self-Discovery. So it's a 5 volume set. So that's one option. So Bhagavatam, if they're, if you see they are not so inclined, then five book set. Or if kids are there, 4 volume Krishna book set. But if like you feel like, okay, they are just not interested, you can just present a single Krishna book. That, okay, just Janmashtami, $10, we have this Krishna book, right? Just 1 volume Krishna book. And also, we are giving all the options here to each one of you so that you know which card to pull out at the right time, right? So Bhagavatam, 5 book set, a 4 volume Krishna book set, a single Krishna book, and Bhagavad Gita. So we also have on our book table a ribbon pack of Bhagavad Gita with Krishna book. And normally we give each book for $10, but now both together is $15, right? So that's a special Janmashtami price. So that's one option. Gram Vidyadan is another option where, if they say, okay, I have all the books and these are wonderful. I have a nice, I took Bhagavatam if they say I took Bhagavatam last year or I have taken this from you, then you can ask them about Gram Vidyadan, about, sponsoring Bhagavatams for India. So we have multiple options and everyone here on the team, I want to like, that take time and just be ready with these options. These are like our tools, and based on the person, you can actually bring out the right card to connect with that person, right? So, uh, so I'm going to go into Bhagavatam presentation, 5 book set presentation, and then Gram Vidyanan, maybe some points. But let's see if anyone has any comments or any thoughts before I continue.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My
Yes,
pranams for you.
yes, ma'am. Done, Pranam.
Prabhuji, uh, at one time, how many devotees will be there on the table?
So it depends, Mate. So that's the other part I was planning to come to is the 3 time slots. So from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So right now we have Vamshi Gopal Prabhu and I think Vedvyas Priya. So I was thinking Vedvyas Priya Prabhu, if you're available in the morning, 11 to 2, because there'll be some devotees will come through the day. So, I was thinking, let me just let's see. Okay, I'm going to post this a message on the chat, and this is just something that I'm thinking, we are thinking. So, but this is, you have to confirm if this is something that may work, right? So if you see 11 to 2, we have Vamshikawal Prabhu, Vedyas Priya Prabhu, if he's available. Then from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., Mataji, we have you, Divyambara Mataji. Then Rashmi Mataji also said she's available during that time. Prem Avtar Prabhu, are you here? Okay. So he said, like, if he gets a ride, he will be available. Otherwise,
Yes, Prabhu, I'll be there.
yeah.
I'll
Okay.
be there no matter what. I can bring my car, but I have a ride, so I'll
Okay. Perfect. So Priyamata Prabhu is here, 2 to 5. So, and then Advait Chandra, we have to see what time works for him. So these are the devotees from 2 to 5. So 3 hour slot, and we have like four or five devotees, and we have like, so yes, Mati. So is that your question?
Yes. So the Prabhu reason I asked this question was like these five or six different options that you mentioned. I'm assuming they'll be just ready on the table, right? Like we will have them ready in just to for us to, like, like you had explained, based on what the situation looks like, that is what we're going to talk about. So there will be multiple sets of each kinds.
Yes. Yes.
And then especially when it will be the busy time of the day, there might be like more than, like, 3 4 people, or maybe more at the same time on the book table. So one of us is just talking to one family,
Yes.
or
Yes.
couple of families together.
No, one family. So, see, the thing is like 1 to 1. So, later on, when the crowd increases, then, people will be walking and you'll be like in front of the book table and you would like, just one family is coming, you greet them and you start. So, when you're talking, like you're just the main person talking to that family.
Okay.
And then if you need help, then there'll be devotees behind the table who can say, like, you can just ask them, oh, can you pass the Krishna book set? They would like to see the whole set. Then they will give you the set and you can just take it. But everything will be on the book table, easily accessible. But when you talk to a person, like you are the one talking to that person.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes,
Is
Prabhuji.
that,
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes, ma'am.
Prabhuji, can we have like a long table or long booth so that we can spread out? Sometime I feel that we all are standing in the front and the people can't see the books.
Hmm. So we'll have two long tables together, right?
Okay, Prabhuji, that's
So,
that.
so that'll be like almost like we have a 10 by 20 booth just for our book table. So 20 feet will be our space in front of the book table. So we can space out. And that's a good point because, we don't want, because when you're talking to one person, like you're on one side of the table and then someone else may talk to someone else, right? And the crowd may still want to flow by the side. So
Yeah,
yeah, so we have to just be
yeah. If we
like,
have a nice display of Bhagavatam so people can look, we are
yes,
not blocking the view, right?
talking the view, yes. So this year is Saturday, so that's why we are preparing this multiple slots because we people may come through the day. Previous years on weekdays, the main crowd was from 6 to 10, which I think this year also the main crowd will be 6 to 10. But uh, but just to be prepared, people coming earlier, we need help during the day also. Okay. Any other points?
Hare
Hey,
Krishna, Prabhuji. Will there be pricing so that we don't get confused what costs how much?
yes,
Uh,
bro. So the 5 book sets, it says it has a label on top. It says $40. The Krishna book and the Bhagavad Gita together, ribbon pack is $15. It has a label on top. We are not doing so many of the like wide variety of books. So just focusing on the main books, like Krishna book set for children is $40. So it's only few options. And many of them have labels on it, so it makes it easy.
Great. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So, Prabhuji,
Um,
actually, even the Bhagavad Gitas have been labeled with the languages they are in. So, there won't be any confusion on the top right hand side. If you see, there will be the price written, and along with that, what language it is in, that will be mentioned on Bhagavad Gita and also on the Krishna books. So, it's easy to pick up.
That's extremely helpful, actually. Thank you.
uh, someone else?
Hare Krishna. Prabhu. So,
Yes,
so this Square app that we need to like install on all the phones or a few of the phones.
yes, Prabhu. So I would say everyone here, please install Square app. It's called Square App. Uh, I think everyone knows the Square app, right? It's just on, I use Apple, but it's there on both the platforms. But if you just search for Square, then you can just download the Square app. and I will just message me and I can give you the login for it. Like the thing to log in is basically like there's an email and a password, and then I get a code to confirm. So it'll just take a minute, but if you have your app downloaded on your phone, then even during Janmashtami, or if we see each before on Thursday or Friday, I can quickly just connect you on the app. So once you're logged into the app, then you can take payments right away. And
So
that's
when
exactly
so with that app, like we don't need that like that the small chip
the
set which we start on the phone
so
and with we can
un-
slide it.
unless you have like a really old phone, but if on the phones have NFC enabled, then there's just like tap. You can just tap the credit card too, and
Yeah.
I think most of the phones have that. So yeah, so
Thank you.
that's good. So I think that's a point for everyone. If whenever you see me, just it'll take like a couple of minutes, but just make sure that you have the Square app so you can take payments. Okay. Okay. So, Krish, what was that, Krish? Shri Chaitanya Prabhu, you had a point?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Quick point, Prabhuji. Drama, I'm happy to do 11 to until 5, Prabhuji. Then I have to go for the dressing up. So whatever slot is available, I can happy to do that. And the second point, Prabhuji, as you mentioned, first 5 to 30 seconds is very important. How do we make a sales pitch to the parents or the kids? And as you mentioned, we have so many options we can give. And also, Prabhuji, if you're okay, I'm thinking this is based on my experience in Indian store when we are doing. We can also open our school flyer. We have a small school. These schools class are there. Your kids are there. Oh, this how old is this? He's 4 year old. Nice. He's 5 year old. Nice. We have a nice class here. Every Sunday you can come here. So that maybe the kids when you see the kids, we can able to do that also. That's one of the option, Prabhuji.
Hmm. The Sunday school, you're talking about Sunday school class?
Yes, yeah, Sunday school. Sunday school is really good to interact with the parents, and same time the kids is there. Of course, they'll take a Krishna book and other thing, but also I like to invite for the Sunday schools and
So,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, bro, that's a good point. So, we have these small displays on the table. I can always add a display of a Sunday school. So, in case there's children and you're showing them Krishna book and the conversation is going on, and like, okay, there's Sunday school, and then you can just point it to the flyer on the table and it has a QR code and they can just scan and register, right?
Yeah,
So,
that will be great, Prabhuji. Yeah, we can do that because I'm noticing that more parents are will be in line if the kids
yeah,
are likes it,
yeah.
and then hopefully they will start coming to temple every Sunday, not just book. So that's my plan, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So, this is a good point. So, and not all of us may use all these points, but it's good to know because, you see someone,
Yes.
the child asks like, oh, the parent asks like, oh, do you have any classes for children? And then, okay, the flyer is right there. You can just point it out and
Yeah.
scan. So that's good. Yeah.
Would you just a suggestion that first to focus on the books. If the conversation goes long, they take the book, then tell. If we straight away tell about the Sunday school, then at the same point they will say that okay, we will come on Sunday and then we will take it.
Hmm. So that's one thing that that's a good point that many times because people want to find an excuse to just like not take the book, and the most common excuse is like, oh, I'll come later and take it. So to that we have a point that today is Janmashtami. What could be a most auspicious day than this to take a Bhagavatam? So that's one point. The second point is, which I was going to mention later, but I'm bringing right now, is I talked to Amarendra Prabhu, and he's willing to be like, at the back of the table, and if they're, when you're talking to someone, they are interested in Bhagavatam, but it's just, they are like just having some doubts, or, anyone who's like, you feel a ripe fruit. So Prabhu said he'll be behind, and anyone who we feel is like a ripe fruit or someone, we can actually, Prabhu said you can, he's happy to talk to them like as a second person, in the sense like, okay, we did our part. Now, maybe like if Amarendra Prabhu, can continue, maybe it will become successful. So he'll be there and he's available to like, talk to people, maybe glorify Bhagavatam more. So uh, like to Vrindavan Vilasini Mati's point, I was thinking that, we can also use this because, I mean, it's, many people know Amrinder Prabhu. Like, the other day, like in Costco, someone was saying that, oh, this is that Amrinder Prabhu. He's a YouTube person. Like he wasn't like that. Family was nowhere connected to ISKCON, but they knew Amrinder. So, because he's popular on YouTube. So we could use that as a line that, oh, today Amarendra Prabhu is here. And in India is so popular that, people actually wait in line to see him. And it's true, in India he's like a celebrity. So we can make that as a, strong point that he's here. And today you get your set, he will sign the set for you. And you can get a photo with Amarendra Prabhu with the Bhagavatam book. So those are like lines that you can add on, and again, all these points are, the points that and at the right time, which point to actually bring up. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's very good. There are people who are just 1% where the gap is, so we
Yeah.
can call Prabhuji and we can make it happen. That will be great.
Yes. So he'll be there. And you can say like Prabhu will sign the book for you. Like imagine getting a Bhagavatam set signed by Amarendra Prabhu. So when you're talking about Amarendra Prabhu, just like we should like just, oh, he's so popular, he gives amazing classes, he's here, and you can get a set signed by him, and so yeah. Okay. So okay. So should we go on to the uh, other
Hey
points?
Krishna,
Yes, Krish, go ahead.
I don't say my name on that
Yeah.
message here. I did register for 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So what time would work for you, Krish? 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.?
What?
What time would work for you?
Yeah, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. worked for me.
Okay, I will add that to the screen. As I mentioned, that list was not a whole list. That's just some names that we came up with. But here certainly I wanted devotees to mention what time would work for them. Okay, so let's continue a little bit of the um, okay, since we are talking on the schedule, let's just go ahead with the schedule. So 11 to 2, now you have Vamshi Gaur Prabhu, Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, Krish Prabhu, right? Three of you. Vedvyas Priya Prabhu, if you are available, you can join. Then 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., we have Prem Avatar Prabhu, Vamshi Gaur Prabhu, Rashmi Mataji, Divyambharadhara Mataji, right? Again, Advait Chandra, if you are available, and Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, if you are available. Then from 5 to 10, so we have, see, when people come, the empty space which is on the left side of the stairs that go to the temple, that ground, we're going to have two book tables there, right? So that is one. So when people come down the temple, they're going to have the swing, and then there is a book table, right? So that's where few devotees will be. But then we have seen that, we do the conversation, and sometimes people have it in mind like, okay, let me come back to you, let me take prasadam or let me see cultural program, then I'll come back to the book table. And then once they think that, then they, many times don't come back because so much is happening. So we'll have one more table which will be on the open side, on the back of Prabhupada Hall. So there are going to be two tables from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Right? So the first table, like in the list, we have Nikunja Vilasi Mataji, Vamshi Govind Prabhu, Vrindavan Vilasi Mataji, Sarla Shivram Prabhu, Simone, and Dhanush. Right? So that's one group. And then on table two, we have Krishna Karuna Prabhu. I don't think he's here. But Prem Avatar Prabhu, Brandon Prabhu, uh, and Advait Chandra. So these are the two teams we just came up, these names together. But if this works, so those who are on table two, you can be on the other side. And that side, actually, the big crowd is on that side because that's where the free prasadam is. And our booth will be right next to a children big booth. So this table two will be right next to children booth. And when children are doing their activities, parents are many times just standing outside. And that's like perfect opportunity to approach the parents. So table two also like a lot of potential on both these tables. So is that clear? the arrangement on Janmashtami. And also for both the tables, like let's say, table two, someone comes and say, oh, I want to see a Gujarati Bhagavatam. Can you show me? Like you don't have to come all the way to the book room to get a Bhagavatam or come to table one. So we have Vaishnav Priya Prabhu, not call, and Pranav Prabhu, and then we may have one more devotee who
I'm
will.
there, Prabhuji.
Oh, you're here. Okay, yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So Vaishnav Priya Prabhu, Pranav Prabhu, and then maybe Advait Chandra also. We'll see three devotees who are just, along with their book distribution seva, they will also be, going to the book room to get more books. So we'll just have three assigned devotees so that, in between our book distribution, you don't have to run to the book room to find a book. Just call them and then they will bring the book to the book table. Does that sound okay? Right? You can give a thumbs up if everything sounds okay around about the arrangement. And yes, okay, good. 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 Okay. Prem after Prabhu, you have a point?
Yeah, Prabhuji, a quick question. When I've done book tables in the past, one thing, and it may be redundant here, but I would like your input. Even if someone is walking away not buying a book, we give, like we would give little prasadam, tiny little prasadam packet or a flyer or something. So will there be something to give anyone who walks by, even if they're like, I'm okay, I have everything, and they're convinced they don't need any book?
That's a good question. So, when people come in, there's actually a welcome booth. So that's the first thing where they'll get a tilak. So you put tilak on everyone. So many times, when people are coming and they may be like coming to a temple for the first time, but you'll see a Vaishnav tilak, but don't get, that, oh, he has a Vaishnav tilak, he probably has a Bhagavatam. No, no, they may be a first time to a temple. So everyone gets a Vaishnav tilak. And then there we pass on a flyer which has information about the festival and the schedule for the whole thing. And they also have an opportunity to sign up for, like, let's say, temple WhatsApp groups and Bhakti Vish groups. So all
Okay.
that happens at the welcome booth, but at our book table,
Prabhuji, I'm bringing a large bundle of Radha Nam scarves. So I was thinking that whosoever takes a Bhagavatam or sponsors them, they can just choose one of those.
okay, that's a good idea. But what if, like, people are not taking anything? I think that's Prabhu's point. Are we giving something to them? I mean, we could have a. Let me check what is our stock on. Normally, we give out candy prasadam when we go out for book distribution. So we can keep, lots of candies on both the tables for the kids.
Again, it may not be necessary, Prabhu. They're getting a full prashada meal, so many goodies. It's going to be, they know they're walking away from the entire Janmashtami with so much blessings and actual gifts and whatnot. So it may not be necessary, but just a random thought in my head based on in the past, book tables have been solo, independent, not part of festivals that I've been a part of, and that's why it was relevant in those times. May not be so relevant right now.
Maybe it's a good idea. Like, let's say someone is like, has spent some time talking, like Vaishali Prabhu also makes the point that if they have given you their time, then that itself is like they are invested something, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So if they have given their time, we could actually at both the tables have a stack of like just small books, like On the Way to Krishna or Matchless Gifts.
Exactly.
And then and if they're not taking any book, give them one small book. I think that's a good idea. So at least they are leaving with, one Prabhupada's books.
Yeah. As long as we have plenty of them and enough of them, given
Yes.
the.
I think that's a good idea. So I'm going to add that to our point. Nikunja, will
Prabhuji, I have a follow-up question on instead of calling somebody to get those books, will there be a few people like who we can just tell, please get Gujarati Bhagavatam or Gujarati Krishna,
yes,
like that.
yeah. So these devotees will be on the tables. I was just saying more for table two because they'll be a little bit further from the book table, from the book room, right? They'll be. So yes, there will be devotees on both the tables who will be assigned for this seva.
Yeah, probably because sometimes in the crowd we don't have the phone.
Yes,
Will
yes,
take some time, and we don't want to lose them in between. You know.
yes.
So, Prabhu, if someone buys a Bhagavatam, then Bhagavatam set, then we would help them
Okay,
pick it.
so here is a system, Prabhu. So if someone buys a Bhagavatam set, um, you don't have to give them a set right away. We have in our parking lot 2 cars full of Bhagavatam sets. So, and then we have devotees assigned to do that seva also. So when they are leaving, they just have to call us, and then the person whose cars are there with the Bhagavatam, they'll just go to the parking lot and transfer into their car.
Very nice.
Okay. And also the point about, like, let's say Amarendra Prabhu is signing a book. I was thinking we can have Bhagavatam 1.1, which is just the first 8 chapters, a small book, and that could be the book that is signed. Because many times we open a set and give a book that is signed, and then later on to give the whole set, it's a little confusing. So let's just give that one additional book as they get the whole Bhagavatam plus they get SB 1.1, which is the signed copy. Like if they are getting a signed copy, right? Okay. Um, Good. Okay, let's see a time 9:37. Okay, so I'm quickly going to go through 5 volume set and Bhagavatam presentation. So 5 volume set, it starts with 4 questions. So the way I present it to Indians, because Indians, like, they're always saying like, I have it, right? I have it, I know it, right? So normally with the 5 volume, I hold the whole stack and I say, uh, we have seen that many of the families, they have Bhagavad Gita at home, but it's hard for them to read and make Bhagavad Gita a part of their life. Hence, we have designed this 5 volume set to make it very easy to live Bhagavad Gita, to actually make Bhagavad Gita a part of our life. And then we start off immediately with the first book. So what we are doing is each book we are actually mentioning 2 sentences, which flows down the 5 books. So first is 4 questions, right? And then I say, for example, the first book, the 4 questions book. This book was read by, like, in our temple, we have a Sunday school where 10-year-old kids, they read the entire book and they made a presentation of how the wisdom is so practical. And I give an example. Normally I give an example that, whenever anything happens to in our life, immediately the question that comes to our mind is, why me? Right? Why did this happen to me? Why does bad things happen to good people? Right? And instead of that, this book actually presents how we can change the question in our mind. Instead of asking why me, we ask what is the lesson here. And in my experience, like, talking to people about this, somehow at this point they always connect with, like, I've seen many times, and when people hear that, it's like, oh, it makes sense. So that's, I leave that as the first question, and that's it. I don't go through a remaining question. And then, so the first one is the way we actually change our thinking and questions. The second book goes into hiding unnatural happiness, and I say these days everyone, they look for happiness, and all their happiness is just screen time. Netflix, Facebook, Instagram, that's their happiness. But that is not the real happiness, right? And hence we get disturbed very easily, right? Distracted very easily, frustrated very easily. But what is a real happiness? So this book addresses that journey from happiness behind the screen to the natural form of happiness. Then I go to the third book. Third book here in the set is Krishna book. Sometimes we used to do Gita, but here is Krishna book. And I say this is special for Janmastami. So when we talk about happiness, then this book actually goes and shows us, gives us a glimpse of the spiritual world where that is the real happiness. And it's all beautiful stories giving an entrance into the spiritual world. Then the fourth book, which is actually Hidden Glories of India. And I say, this book, the fourth book, is all beautiful photos of different holy places in India. So it's like a book that you can, go through and just especially children or people who are here growing, children who are growing up here, when they see all these photos of different holy places in India, they are attracted to visit these holy places, right? And that connects them to the root of our culture. So, and then the last one is a journey of self-discovery. So I say, anyway, every year time is just passing, but instead of just going through our life, you can actually learn through our life, right? Instead of just going through, we are growing through our life. So I end with that. Our entire life can be a journey, and this entire set, families who have the Bhagavad Gita but have not really made it practical. This set takes them through an entire journey, which is very easy to read and good for children also, and it will get them to the depth of the Gita. And today for Janmashtami, we are just giving entire set only for $40. So that's the 5 book presentation. So anyway, I'm going to share this recording also. I know it's like many points, but but is that okay? The 5 book set. Okay. Okay. So that's okay. Now let's just come to the Bhagavatam. And again, I will also write down these points in the chat so you know. So for Bhagavatam, we, as I mentioned, like first we are saying this Janmashtami all over the world, we are focusing on our Vedic wisdom, on preserving our Vedic. That preservation word is very important, preserving our Vedic literature. And then we say, and Bhagavatam is the essence of all our Vedic literatures. And one thing is, many times we see that Indians, they get confused between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. When we talk about Bhagavatam, they think that we are talking about Bhagavad Gita, and hence they say, oh, I have the Gita, right? So the first point is, we say that Bhagavatam is the essence of Vedic literature, and we point out a difference. So we know Bhagavad Gita is the conversation between Krishna and Arjun, that is 700 shloka, but Bhagavatam is actually explaining the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita in a very practical story form, right? And this is a conversation between Sukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. Sukadev Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, Parikshit, the grandson of Arjun. So it's a much detailed conversation, but it is in story form, making the philosophy very, very practical and accessible, right? So that's how I start off. The difference is the first thing. And then after difference, I mean, now at this point, we have different, I've seen different devotees do it in different way. So, like either at this point, you can actually go and say like, take some stories from the Bhagavatam and just briefly point out how these stories are, the whole Bhagavatam talks of stories of the Dashavatar. Krishna Leela is given in detail. We have Ramayana in brief. So it's like everything, the whole essence of the Vedas is here. So second is the story. Third is how these stories are so practical. And I often give the example of Parikshit. Everything was going well in a moment, cursed to die in 7 days. But how did he deal with it? What was the lesson he learned, right? And how we can actually learn lessons from it. Then I explain a little bit about the scientific aspect of the Vedas. And then I end with the point about how Bhagavatam is Krishna, right? So they have all come for Krishna Janmashtami. So today the main pitch is take Krishna home with you. Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna himself, right? And we actually make the point that how you can actually explain that how in the first and second canto are the lotus feet of Krishna, third and fourth and tenth are the thighs of Krishna, etc., etc. And that way we say like Bhagavatam is Krishna himself, right? So today is the best day. You have come to celebrate Janmashtami. You can actually take Krishna home with you, right? And then languages, right? So Prabhu also asked. So we have English, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Gujarati, Hindi, Marathi, almost all the local languages, right? So we have all those languages. I think, yeah, Kannada also is there. So I'm just thinking, yeah. So Hindi, English, Gujarati, Marathi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada. So all the languages are there actually, all the main languages. Okay. So anyway, that could be Nepali. We don't have. That's a good point. Nepali, we have Bhagavad Gita and Krishna book, but Nepali Bhagavatam is not there. But I've seen Nepalis also like many times they prefer Hindi. So you could also, like, if there's a Nepali person, you could suggest, oh, maybe you can take a Hindi Bhagavatam set. So, okay. So those are some points. Bengali, yes, Bengali is available. Yes, Bengali Bhagavatam is there. Yes. And also the price. So we are saying, so for Janmashtami price, we are saying $225 for the whole set, irrespective of which language you take. And then, um, okay, so quickly I'll just go through. So last time on the call we had with the whole group, so Malini Mataji was there from ISV, and she was saying that, three things that we often, questions that we receive, or people actually say that. One is they say, oh, 225, I don't think I want to invest so much today. So for that, immediately our question, like when you say the 225 and then they are like hesitating, that means, you can give them the option that, oh, well, we also have an installment option where you can do $108 today, and then the remaining $125, you can do it in two installments, right? Monthly installments. So that option is there. Then second point is if they say, well, I don't have space, there's like too many books, right? So I didn't mention this earlier, but we also have a ebook for Bhagavatam. I'm still working on getting all the details, but now all over the world they have also started ebook Bhagavatam, which is much cheaper, but we get the score also. So that's the ebook. So I'll share more details on the group about ebook. And then the third was, oh, I have no time to read. So when people come up with that challenge, oh, I have no time to read, then focus more on the preserving aspect. The main, and then, if they say, oh, I have no time to read, then our point is, well, our main project is to preserve the Vedas. Once you have it at home, and it's not that you have to finish all the 18, you can just read the first chapter of the entire book, and that itself is so deep and so relishable. So it's not so much of like finishing all the books, it's just relishing. You could just take one story of Dhruva, or you can mention about, now there is Mahavatar Narsimha. So you can just take the story of Narsimha, and now you have watched the movie or you have heard of the movie, you could just read one story. But the point is of preserving our Vedas. So these were three, counter arguments to what people could say. Okay, so I seen the time 9:48. So okay, let's see any questions or any comments or any thoughts. Nikunja Vilasam, what you would like to share?
Prabhuji, just one practical tip that we all need to have our phones fully charged.
Yes. So yeah, that bring me another point that I was thinking is on both the tables. So there will be devotees who will be in front of a table, who will be like directly approaching people. But it's good to have like devotees behind the table also, because if people just stop by the table and if all of us are engaged with talking to other people, then they may just look at the books and walk away. So we don't want to miss people who are come to the table. So on both the tables, make sure you have devotee behind. So and also the person behind could help. Like, let's say you're talking to someone and they say, oh, do you have Gujarati Bhagavad Gita? And you could just, and you're not able to see, you can talk to the person who's behind the table and say, Prabhu, can you give me Gujarati Bhagavad Gita? And he can give that to you. So both the tables will have a person behind. And also, if when the crowd is really high, and then, let's say someone bought a Krishna book 4 volume set, and and you're collecting the payment. You could also, like, because there's so many people, you can also, if the person behind the table is not occupied, you can ask that person to collect the payment of $40, and so on. So you could work that out depending on the crowd. But we'll have devotees behind the table as well as the ones actively, talking to people. So
Prabhu, also, like, we'll be having laptops on both the tables to maintain the list of books.
So that's another practical point. How do we keep the score? So anyone, we are going to have assigned devotees who are going to go to the book room if we need. So we have lots of books that we have kept outside in the container, and those are counted, and Like only if we are out of those books will we go to the book room. And if you're going to a book room, then the person who's bringing book is going to just update that, okay, these are books I have brought out. That's one point. Second point is the persons who are behind the book table will have laptops on board with a Google Sheet that you can just go and update. So if anyone buys, Bhagavatam, buys Krishna book set, just go and quickly enter, okay, one Krishna book set. So it has different columns. Each column has like, okay, Krishna book plus Bhagavad Gita. Okay, just enter one and then write the amount. Okay, $15. So quickly, so the person behind will also be keeping track of the books that are sold. So if you are actively in front of the table distributing books, and if you are taking the payment, then make sure that you just come back and you say, "Oh, Prabhu, he took one Krishna book set," and they can write the score. Okay. Anyway, lots of logistics, but yes.
Prabhu, also we need to take pictures of people who are buying Bhagavatam, and maybe if we can share the picture with Pranav Prabhu so he can upload it on the digital frame.
Yes. So on the first table, we are having a digital frame with like, photos of like some information on Bhagavatam and, some photos of children reading Bhagavatam. And, if someone takes a Bhagavatam, we are going to try to like take a photo and immediately try to upload it onto the electronic frame on the table. So it'll be like their photo is right there showing that, oh, they got a Bhagavatam set. So that will encourage more people. So we are going to try to do that. We have not done that in previous years. So that's our, yeah. Okay.
Prabhuji, and the small cards that we can just give that in the information that they can read with us, the Zoom calling and the timings.
Yes, Mate. Yeah, that was on my list. Yes, Mate, I'm trying to work on that. So we have a card with that information. Yes. Okay. So thank you all so much for joining and thank you for patiently listening. Any final comments?
Hare Krishna, I had a quick question. If someone says they want to purchase a book later, is there contact information that we can give them?
I think if someone wants to purchase a book, it's best to take their contact information. Because like let's say we talk to someone and they're very interested in Bhagavatam, but still they just don't confirm, then take and just tell them like, can I just get your contact? I'll just message you in a week and you can let me know if you like to get the Bhagavatam. So that way we have a contact and whenever you're ready, you can just write to me. So I mean, you're always free to share my number with anyone, but it's always good to take their contact. You can just take it on your phone and maybe write, okay, SB interested, Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam interested.
Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Prabhu, one more last point. We need to make sure that everybody is leaving with a very good impression, whether they buy a book or not, but they need to leave with a good impression.
Yeah, that's Vaishali Prabhu always stresses on this point. Leave them with a good impression. So, I mean, yes, we are, like we are confident, we want to do a nice presentation, but if they are just like, okay, not interested, then at a point we just have to see if it's making them a little uncomfortable, and then just thank them and just change the mood and say, oh, thank you so much for coming, or say something, which is like a little pleasant, and just make it a little personal and say, thank you for coming. And then you can just say, oh, there's prasadam here on the other side. Just make it very personal and say, just thank you, and just say, okay, Haribol.
This is such an important point because many times people may not buy today, but they may buy in a week or a month or a year down the road, and all these impressions add up. So
yes,
great.
yeah, and it's good, Mataji, and probably talking about this point. So whatever is the case, they don't take, leave them with a very good impression. That like, okay, it was nice meeting this person. They feel like, oh yeah, it was nice talking to this person.
Prabhuji, when we say that, oh, thank you so much for giving your time for listening and let us glorify Bhagavatam. That's a very nice impression. You were so eager to listen. We can just say that thank you so much that you let us glorify Bhagavatam.
Yes, a very nice point. Thank you for giving your time. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to share about this Bhagavatam with you. So they're all like very nice ending points. Like they take or they don't take, always thank them, express that mood of gratitude. So very nice. Okay. I think that's 9:55, so we'll end here. So let's say a prayer. Finally, like we have all these techniques and all these points, but what really works is our prayers. So let's really pray that Srila Prabhupada, Shri Gaur Nitai, Srila Prabhupada, our Gurudevs, they empower us that we can be instruments to actually distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. And and by be instruments where the books go to them and then they can take up Krishna consciousness. So let's really pray hard that like we somehow we may not be so pure, but on the day of Janmastami, please use us as instruments so we can be empowered to distribute the books. So let's all say again the prayer to Srila Prabhupada and Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you all so much. And always remember, assume it can be done, right? Always remember this formula. So when we are talking about Bhagavatam, assume it can be done. Yes, people, why will they not take? It is such a beautiful book, they will take it. So have that mood and let's try our best. Thank you all so much for your time. And together, let's do big for the pleasure of our gurus and Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.